statue in the Capitol Rotunda. Sarah Winnemucca was a 19th century Native American educator and activist from Nevada. On March 9th, congressional leaders gathered in the Capitol Rotunda to dedicate the statue in her honor. This is about 35 minutes.
Please be seated. First, I'd like to welcome all my fellow Nevadans and the friends and distinguished guests we have here today, especially those who have come a long distance across the country, so to speak, to join us in this great honor that we're here today for, which is to welcome Sarah Winnemucca into the United States Capitol. And throughout this long process, so many have dedicated their valuable time toward this important endeavor for Nevada. First and foremost, we must welcome and recognize the sculpture of this amazing work, this amazing piece of art, Benjamin Victor. Benjamin, please stand so we can look. You know, it was Benjamin's artistic eye that was able to capture the true spirit of Sarah Winnemucca. And in just a few minutes, everyone will be able to see with their own eyes the magnificent creation that his gifted hands have constructed. Members of the Statue Selection Committee are here with us today, and we are also very fortunate to have in our audience the First Lady of Nevada, Dima Guinn. Welcome, Dima. You know, it was through her leadership that Sarah Winnemucca is really here today, and on behalf of everyone in Nevada, I want to thank you for your tireless work and your effort on this very important project. And I'd also like to welcome the commitment of the Nevada Women's History Project, especially Carrie Townley Porter and Mary Ann Kovas. Welcome. It was with the help of the Nevada Women's History Project and their many donors and volunteers from across the state and the nation that we were able to raise enough money to bring Sarah here today. One donor, Lynette Boggs McDonald. Lynette raised a significant amount of these monies. And also with us here today are many members of the Paiute tribes throughout Nevada, some of which are direct descendants of Sarah Winnemucca. And we're here today not only to honor the contributions of Sarah Winnemucca, but to the rich cultural history that Native Americans have given to the great state of Nevada. We would not be celebrating Sarah's contribution to our nation, had it not been for the ancestors of some in our audience today. For example, the Peabody sisters helped sponsor Sarah Winnemucca during her Eastern United States speaking tour in the 1800s. And this tour helped promote her book, gave Sarah national notoriety, and promoted her to the position she is today. And the Peabody sisters also provided a great deal of financial support for Sarah's school for the Paiute children near Lovelock, Nevada. And without the hard work of these individuals and those of many others, we would not be here to witness this historic event. Finally, while Congressman Porter and Congresswoman Berkeley are not on stage with us today, their support was also vital in this project. So let us all give everyone thanks for the hard work that they have made to make this event possible today. Thank you. Now, please help me welcome the distinguished governor from the greatest state in the Union, the governor of the state of Nevada, Governor Kenny Guinn. Governor.
Thank you very much, Congressman Gibbons. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a long, long journey. And we're here today to honor the memory of a remarkable Nevadan, Sarah Winnemucca. This beautiful statue that you'll see here soon was created by a talented young man that you've already met, Benjamin Victor, in the front row. It is a wonderful tribute to a native Nevadan and a Native American whose life is a true inspiration to so many of us in the great state of Nevada. It is entirely fitting that a great woman from Nevada's past is being honored here today due to the support of women from Nevada's present. Without the efforts of the Nevada Women's History Project, we would not be here in your presence. A number of the people, but in particular, Mary Ann Kovas, Carrie Townley Porter, and Kathleen Clements, helps make this historic moment possible for all of us. And a historic moment it is. When I signed AB 267 into law in 2001, one of the major challenges facing this group was how to make the Sarah Winnemucca statue a reality. A grassroots, statewide fundraising effort started almost immediately. The members of the Nevada Women's History Project did their work well, raising enough money for not one, but two statues. The one that we see here in Statuary Hall, soon to be unveiled, and the one that will be displayed in Carson City, in the capital of Nevada, for thousands and thousands of our school children who would not be able to make it to Washington, D.C. What a great thought. I want to thank you to all the members of the Nevada Women's History Project for what you've done for Nevada and what you've done for the future of Nevada. I'm also extremely proud on the way the state of Nevada stepped forward to support the project. And Sarah Jones, our state librarian from the Department of Cultural Affairs, embodies the wonderful traits I associate with people from Nevada. She was a main focal point in the state for the statue selection committee, and she did an outstanding job in that process. I'd also like to thank the members of the State Selection Committee, the Honorary Chairperson, First Lady Dima Guinn, Chairperson Carrie Townley Porter, Vice Chair Mary Lou Fulkerson, and the members of that committee, Richard Hooker, Debbie Allen, and Stephen High. The state of Nevada owes each of you a great deal of gratitude. And finally, I'd like to thank yet another great Nevada woman of very special note, Dr. Sally Zanjani. She has written the definitive book on Sarah Winnemucca, and her writings convinced many people that Sarah Winnemucca was deserving of more than a simple footnote in our state's history. And now Sarah Winnemucca will stand proudly in a place of honor in our nation's capital. Sarah Winnemucca was one of the truly great figures in the history of Nevada. She was a believer in the brotherhood of mankind and her life, and lived her life so that she would always help others, whether they were Native Americans or settlers from outside the state of Nevada. This honor could not go to a more deserving historical figure. One of the lasting images you take away from Benjamin Victor's creative work is how Sarah seems to be always moving, although she is a bronze statue. As we stand in our nation's capital today, it is a proud day for all Nevadans as we honor such a Nevadan as Sarah Winnemucca. Thank you for being here today and joining with all Nevadans in this great celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. I would now like to invite the distinguished House Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi from the great state of California, to the podium for her remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gibbons, for your welcome and for your great work in making today possible. Mr. Speaker, distinguished leaders of the Senate and House, very special guests who are here today. This is a great day for us. I'm so excited about this statue being unveiled at a time, just in time, that when Harry Reid is the Democratic leader of the Senate, a Nevadan. God happened 2 months in time, and of course, As the House Democratic leader and first woman to serve in that capacity, I know that Shelley Berkeley and I take special pride in the fact that we will have another statue of a woman, a Native American woman, and Nevadan in the Capitol. Shelley, thank you. Thank you to Nevada for giving us another woman in this distinguished honor. There aren't that many in the Capitol. Governor Guinn, thank you also for all of your work and all of the Nevadans who made this day possible. It's a great day for our country. How this came to be was that in 1865, as the nation was emerging from the bitter Civil War, Congress asked that each state submit 2 statues of the people who best represented their states. Congress recognized that even at a time of division in our country, there was more that united us than that which divided us. Sarah Winnemucca recognized that too. Sarah Winnemucca, as you know, was born in the mid-1800s at a time of severe strife between Native Americans and white settlers. While white settlers were taking the land and freedom of Native Americans, Sarah chose communication over conflict. She learned to speak English, educated herself about the settlers' way of life, and worked to educate the settlers about her own. She became a critical bridge between these 2 diverse cultures, believing that greater understanding would ultimately improve the lives of her people. By the age of 14, Sarah Winnemucca was fluent in 5 languages, including 3 Native American dialects and English and Spanish. Working as a translator and negotiator, she was instrumental in making peace when disputes arose and speaking out when tribal rights were violated. Throughout her life, Sarah gave more than 400 lectures across the country to the leaders of her day. She published the first book written in English by a Native American woman, and she even traveled to Washington, D.C. to plead her case before President Rutherford B. Hayes. Sarah spoke on behalf of her people, and she also struggled to improve their daily lives. She started a first-of-its-kind school for Paiute children because she saw that education could not only lift the lives of individuals, but also promote understanding between people. Sarah Winnemucca lived her life between 2 worlds, and it could not have been easy. She was criticized for her commitment to communication, and she was too often seen as a messenger of Americans' white settlers' broken promises. As she wrote, "Those who have maligned me have not known me. Promises have been made to me in high places that have not been kept, and I have had to suffer for this." Although she did live between 2 worlds, Sarah Winnemucca never gave up either. The life she lived improved both, and it is fitting that we honor her here today. When Nevada state legislator was considering sending this statue to Washington, an 11-year-old schoolgirl wrote a letter to the commission. She wrote, "At school, we all learn about this wonderful woman, but I feel as if we're the only ones who do so. We've dedicated a city and a mountain to her father, but we have nothing in remembrance of his daughter. Sometimes I walk out and I look at Winnemucca Mountain. As the legend goes, you can see Sarah Winnemucca's face on its surface at sunset. I hope to see her face in Washington, D.C., on the statue in her honor. Today, thanks to the work of all who have been acknowledged, we honor the request of one young girl in Nevada and the many contributions of Sarah Winnemucca, a powerful voice for unity in America, and now a face in the United States Capitol." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman Pelosi. I'd now like to invite to the podium a close personal friend, a friend of all Nevadans, our colleague, Senator John Ensign, for his remarks.
Thank you, Congressman Gibbons, Mr. Speaker, leaders of my leader, leaders of the House. It is an honor to be here to be part of this historic ceremony. Today we are witnessing around the world this struggle for freedom, and it is clear that bringing opposing parties together to create harmony is one of the most difficult tasks in the world and is nothing short of miraculous when it happens. In each generation, there are those who step up to take on the task of making peace. Granddaughter of the chief of the Paiute Nation, Sarah Winnemucca, was one such person. She worked to make peace between Indian tribes and Army officers by working as a negotiator and an interpreter. Sarah spoke 5 languages and was a tireless advocate for her people. Her passion for the Indian cause even brought her to the nation's capital, where she lobbied President Hayes and the Secretary of the Interior. On top of her role as negotiator and peacemaker, Sarah Winnemucca dedicated herself to teaching Paiute children and to writing her story, Life Among the Paiutes. Nevada's past and present are full of many exceptional women like Sarah, whose footsteps have made our state a better place to live. Women like Barbara Vukanovich, first woman elected to federal office from Nevada, and with 7 terms, the state's second longest serving congressional representatives. Women like Emily Wanderer, who passed away just last week at the age of 102. She was a civil rights champion. She was one of the first women to practice law in Nevada. According to her son, quote, "She was very much ahead of her time in terms of what women could do and were allowed to do. She was just independent and single-minded and tenacious, a person of high principle," much like Sarah Winnemucca. Placing the statue of Sarah Winnemucca in the esteemed Statuary Hall is a wonderful way for us to honor all of Nevada's women. Sarah Winnemucca was a woman with many hats in the 1800s, but she represents the independent spirit, devotion to family, and passion for the community that is a part of so many of Nevada's women throughout history. Thank you, and God bless you.
Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone to you and invite them up to the podium. And when you think of Nevada, you oftentimes think of Searchlight. I'd like now to invite the senator from Searchlight, Nevada, our friend, Senator Harry Reid, the Minority Leader.
As we've heard, Sarah Winnemucca Statue is the second in the United States Capitol. Our other statue, Senator McCarran, has been here for 45 years, which I believe marks the first time Sarah Winnemucca ever came in second to anyone. Sarah's life, though, is a story of firsts. She was the first female Native American to write a book. She set up Nevada's first school for Native American children. She was one of the first to navigate between her own culture and the settlers. As someone who showed so much courage in charting a new course, Sarah's statue fits in well among other first Americans in the Capitol, including people like George Washington, or the first woman elected to the United States House of Representatives, Jeannette Rankin of Montana. And with Sarah's statue, we experience another first today. Sculptor Benjamin Victor becomes the youngest artist ever to complete a work for the National Statuary Hall collection. Maybe none of us knew Sarah Winnemucca, but we will, because of this 26-year-old man. We'll get a glimpse of who she is, as well as tens of thousands of visitors to our United States Capitol every year. And when they see this work, they'll get a sense of Nevada's history and our country's history. A week ago, the speaker and I were gathered in this room, in this same spot basically, to present Jackie Robinson's widow with the Congressional Gold Medal. We praise Jackie Robinson for breaking the color barrier, not just in baseball, but in the minds of people all across our country and the world. It is praise we can equally lavish on Sarah Winnemucca for the work she did on behalf of Native Americans over 125 years ago. Disillusioned by the treatment and relocation of her Paiute people, Sarah Winnemucca became an activist, in addition, as we've learned today already, of the other roles she held: teacher, author, translator, lecturer. Sarah traveled across the country, introducing Americans to her people and the struggles her people faced through a series of lectures on the East Coast. She even visited Washington, D.C. to plead her case with President Hayes and Secretary of Interior Schurz, only to be sent home with promises that would never be fulfilled. Having dealt with an indifferent United States government, it has been written that Sarah died believing that she hadn't accomplished much, unconvinced that her life had an impact on others. I think if she could see us today, and maybe she's watching us, she would change her mind. While our country and our culture remain far from perfect, we're further down the road Sarah set a century ago. While she may have died believing she did not make a difference, her image in the United States Capitol is proof her story remains very much alive. It took 45 years for Nevada to get its second statue. When you consider what Sarah did in just 47 years of her life, you got to wonder why it took so long. In just this one case, though, Sarah Winnemucca wasn't first. But thankfully, we did get it right. As this statue takes its permanent place, I really am proud that Sarah is the newest face of Nevada in Washington, D.C., and that, as a state, we have helped ensure her legacy lives on for generations to come.
Thank you very much, Senator Reed. And now, even though this is a Nevada day, I'd like to introduce our next guest speaker, the great senator from the state of Tennessee, the majority leader of the Senate, Senator Bill Frist.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, Leader Reed, colleagues, and friends, today we honor a proud daughter to Nevada and a woman whose life makes us all proud to be American. And we honor her because of the efforts of Nevada's people and her public servants. I want to particularly recognize Harry Reid. Senator Reid has been an extraordinary leader for his party, and I consider him a firm partner as we work together for America's future. The statues in this Capitol honor distinguished Americans whose storied deeds forever changed our nation, forever, and for the better. Some of them are well known and instantly recognizable to all Americans: George Washington, Martin Luther King, Susan B. Anthony. Others receive far less notice in most tellings of our national saga. But they too have contributed to the history and the character of the America that we all have come to love. Sarah Winnemucca achieved fame as an Army Scout, an author, a speaker, a political activist, a translator, and an educator. Few people have accomplished so much in so many different devotions. And even fewer have done so much while fighting so ardently for a cause. Born in the most difficult of circumstances, she became a leader of her people and a prominent moral voice in our national debates. Through all her actions, she worked to make sure that government kept its promises and simultaneously to equip her own people with the skills to thrive in American society. While she strongly opposed many federal policies, she never wavered in her commitment to American values, to education, to freedom,
and to the right to determine one's own destiny. At a time when Native Americans fell victim to a sometimes cruel and thoughtless government, she stood for her beliefs and for the betterment of her people. Her character, her virtues, her accomplishments remind us of what we can achieve. And the story of her life tells us what it means to be an American. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Frist. I now want to introduce to all of you and welcoming him to the podium, a friend of Nevadans, a personal friend of mine, someone I'm proud to call Speaker, the Speaker of the House, Dennis Hastert.
Senate leaders, Reverend clergy, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank to Jim Gibbons of Nevada for putting together this event, and Governor Guinn, thank you very much. Indian women have played an important role in our nation's history. About a year and a half ago, we honored Sacagawea from North Dakota. To the left, your left, one of the 6 paintings in this cathedral of democracy is of Pocahontas. Today, we're honoring the legacy of another great Native American woman. This statute marks the 99th out of 100 states that make up Statuary Hall's collection. Of those in this collection, this will be the 8th statute that honors a woman. Sarah Winnemucca was born of the Paiute tribe in the present state of Nevada. We've heard about her history and the great things that she did on behalf of her people. She was the first Indian woman west of the Rockies to write a book and took time to record the customs of the Paiute tribe. And she even has a town named after her in northern Nevada. She was inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame in Seneca, New York, where legacy enjoys the company from the likes of Eleanor Roosevelt and Sandra Day O'Connor and Dorothy Height and a whole host of others. It's fitting in this month of March, which is the Women's History Month, that we accept this statue on behalf of the Senate and the House of Representatives from the people of Nevada, honoring Sarah Winnemucca. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Now, the moment we've all waited for, the opportunity for us all to enjoy what we came here today. It's my pleasure, along with Senator Reid, Senator Ensign, and I would like to invite the First Lady of Nevada, Dima Guinn, to join us today on stage to help unveil the 2nd statute of Nevada, Sarah Winnemucca. Dima. Benjamin, come on. You got to be part of this. Join up. Let's hope. everybody out of film. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Winnemucca. Ladies and gentlemen, now that Sarah Winnemucca has officially blessed this great house, this great chamber, and the center of democracy, now on behalf of Nevada, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ralph Burns from the Paiute Lake Indian tribe, from the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe, for a Native American blessing in the Paiute language. Mr. Burns?
Bishara make ya non. Bishara make ya semana. Shukuna ya na zapuni kada. Bishata me benum. Ka on nos when you show. Kanuma go bakweta. Mahanin. Susum ne mo ya kai na kaspi kwaron. Ya umani ya no da me show sinaga. Nos o mane punya dame squid supita. Minya udah kian mana dame show stu nagak. Ya hote so issue bi siap mane pune. Ya sudah mereka ko kuat. Lemu mana tu dame tebing apa. Maya bisa dame dah semua. Umaya kia bisa hai ma panera bisa mestu hai ikera apa samupi nak menemu ikia umatuma zain napa bisa mestu hai nak luas umanin menemu ku betumanin bisa mestu hai kia Nak menemu ya semua punir, bisa mesti hai. Kami tip, kami pak, kami songah hak pun, bisa mesti hai kia. Nak ya zombie toniga, nanema, bisa mesti naga, bisa mabisha keka, bisa was mesti naga. Dui hi semua wan, isa makanuk. Ya manipune, satu mia, kalau kita mia na satu koce, manos pa, puhua.
Thank you very much, Ralph Burns. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, let me please welcome back the Senate Chaplain, Dr. Barry Black, for a benediction.
Let us pray. Thank you, Lord, for a life well lived and for Sarah's indelible footprints on the sands of time. Let these footprints challenge us when we are too well pleased with ourselves, when our dreams come true because we have dreamed too little, when we arrived safely because we have sailed too close to the shore. Let these footprints challenge us to dare more boldly, to venture on wider seas where storms will show your mastery, where losing sight of land, we will find your stars. Now bless us and keep us. Make your face shine upon us and be gracious unto us. Lift the light of your countenance upon us and give us your peace, now and always. Amen.
And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony, and a great day for Nevada. Thank you.
If you'd like a copy of any of tonight's American Perspectives programs, you can order a DVD or VHS directly from the C-SPAN archives. Order online by going to cspan.org/shop or call the archives toll-free weekdays at 1-877-ON-C-SPAN. That's 1-877-662-7726. If you'd like to watch any recent American Perspectives program online, go to our website at cspan.org and look for the American Perspectives link. Sunday on C-SPAN's Q&A, U.S. Comptroller General and head of the Government Accountability Office, David Walker.
We're trying to find out how the $72 billion that were spent for the supplemental on the global war against terrorism were spent. I have no doubt in my mind that money was spent, but it's like pulling teeth to find out.